Hey guys, it's Chris. What I always try to talk to y'all when I'm backing up the truck. I don't know. But I'm being safe. I'm watching this camera. There's a camera in here. It's really crazy. The other day, I didn't really realize what it was. I thought it was like a video thing because, it had a video of like somebody running over somebody in a parking lot, and I thought, man, that's a really cool video. And then I realized it was a camera, and that's not true. That's not a good way to start out, by not telling the truth. Anyway, Tammy, you see I have this on my head. Tammy wanted me to go to the dermatologist, and just insisted that I go. I hadn't been in, 20 years or something. And so wanted me to have a checkup. So I just insisted that she go with me. I said, if you're going to make me go, then I want you to go with me. So, you can see that, she's not with me. And I mean, I did everything. I pouted, I stomped my feet, I whined, I just did my fists like that, and none of it worked. She just decided, well, she had a bunch of stuff to do. She did need to work on some stuff with her cookbook, some phone calls and stuff she's got to make. But anyway, so she didn't go, despite all my activities. So it's just me and this bag of Zaxby's that I'm taking back to her for lunch. And I went, like I said, I went to the dermatologist. I have a little horn right there on my head that stuck out. There was one there, and then there's one like right here. They kind of did like that. They're removing this one, but I don't know why I have those. I have no idea. But anyway, they took this one off. They, searched my whole universe, to make sure I was okay. And I'm okay. And then they gave me this. Now this is very interesting. They gave me this. Some of you may recognize this. You people that are my age, they give you a card. And this is just a throwback to ancient times that offices still do. Because it's what used to happen back in the day. What used to happen is you would go to whatever, the doctor, the dentist, and then they would make an appointment like they do, and they would write it down on that card. They would hand you that card with your appointment date and time, a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever. And that was it. They didn't, you're like, well, I mean, they would call you, no. Well, they'd send you no, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have, we had phones, but they weren't going to call you. They had stuff to do. They're trying to keep people alive. They're not going to call you and tell you you have an appointment. And you're like, well, how did you know? Because they gave you that card. That card was it. That was your lifeline to the doctor. And you had to either, now this sounds crazy. This is going to really sound crazy to some of y'all. But you would have a calendar that you would keep somewhere in your house, your purse, your car, something, and it had, you guys know what a calendar is. I mean, a lot of people don't know. They just look on their phone and see what day it is, and everything's on the phone. But there was an actual physical paper calendar, and you would write down, doctor's appointment, October 2000, whatever. And you'd look at your calendar every day and see what you had to do that day. You just write it all down. Tuesday, I got to go here. Wednesday, and that's how you kept track of things. For real. That's really what happened. I'm not lying. Some people still do it today. They write it down. They put it on their calendar. They keep their calendar on their refrigerator or something, and they just know what to do. So they didn't call you. Like now, they'll hand me these cards, and I'll just throw them in the garbage, because I know they're going to call me the week before or text me, and then they're going to email me and text me you know, the day before, and then they're going to call me that morning to go, Chris, are you up? You need to be at the doctor. And, you know, they just do all this stuff for you. It's ridiculous. They have created all these people that just we have no control over anything. We just wait for somebody to tell us, you know. But no, they used to not do that. And used to, the school didn't call you. I know if any of you have had kids over the last 20 years or since the year 2000, the school constantly is leaving messages, calling. Every little thing that happens, the school calls. Man, used to, you never heard from the school. I don't care if the school was on fire. They weren't calling you. You could see it in the news. The school was not in the business of calling parents, you know, unless the teacher, you know, felt like they needed to call you, or, you know, for some reason. But the school being, no, they didn't do all that. We didn't get that. We were on our own. It was us and our little cards and our calendars, and we were just, good luck to you. So anyway, that's what happened. So, you know, I got this, and you'd go to the doctor. They didn't give me a sucker. That just occurred to me. They didn't give me any kind of, they just gave me that card. But used to, like when I was a kid, I just remember, you know, you'd go to the doctor, and my doctor, when I was a little kid, was Dr. Lavakia. Isn't that a weird name? It never, like when I was a kid, it never crossed my mind that, man, that's a weird name. I just go to Dr. Lavakia. He was our doctor, Dr. Lavakia. I've never heard that name ever since then. And he would blow up a balloon. I guess he was just a pediatrician, I'm sure. And I mean, I'm sure my mom wasn't taking me to a brain surgeon or anything. So anyway, he would blow up this balloon, and then he would draw a face on the balloon, and and the nose would be the end of the balloon. And he would always draw us these little face balloons and hand them to us at the end of the appointment. And we would go see him, whatever it was, once a year. And, you know, as a kid, you know, the number one thing was when, you know, your mom said you had to go to the doctor was, am I going to get a shot? Am I going to get a shot? We just lived, you know, from shot to shot. We didn't know, am I going to have to get a shot? You know, and then you had the ones they gave you in the arm, you know, and you had the ones they gave you in the butt. And those, either way, I didn't want it. And, you know, I wasn't a big baby about the shots or anything, but I just remember I didn't want to have a shot. And all we ever got, I mean, they just give us shots of penicillin all the time. You go to the doctor, give a shot of penicillin. They'd thump your chest, listen to you, you know, put that stethoscope on you and listen to you and listen to you. They'd look in your ears and give you a shot of penicillin for no reason. I never remember any other kind of medication, any other kind of whatever. Just get shot. Ah, the good old days. Because we went there for years. We went there the whole time until, you know, couldn't go to the pediatrician anymore. He's like, Chris, you're 34 years old. You gotta find somebody else. I deal with children. And we had, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but we had, you know, the paper calendar, and then we had like an alarm clock, that would ring to wake you up in the morning. So you have to set your clock, you know. And like now, everything's on the phone. My alarm clock's on the phone. My calendar, I don't even keep a calendar because I don't have anything. I don't have anything I need to plan for. I just let them tell me. I just wait until the day or the week before, and they say, Chris, go do this. And I go, okay. Or Tammy tells me. I think she's got some kind of, I don't know what she's got going on as far as keeping track of things. She seems to keep track of things. So she must have some kind of way that she does it. I don't know. I mean, I don't need a calendar to tell me I'm to go fishing Thursday. It's all right here. All right here. It's right up under that. That's where all of it is, right in there, up under that. I told the girl, I have these places on top of my head, and they said that they would freeze them. That it was like, and it wasn't anything serious. None of this is serious. Nothing is serious. Just relax. But they had this thing, and they were like freezing these things on my head. And she said, well, okay, this is going to feel, da-da-da. And I told her, I said, listen, just make sure that doesn't get into my brain. I don't want you to freeze my brain. And she said, I'm not going to freeze your brain. Don't worry about that. And then she proceeded to freeze my whole head. That thing was zzz. And then they did that, and then they cut this, the devil horn off right here. And this one, I need to let it come out further. And I was really working on it. I was trying to get them both. But this one, she had to cauterize it. So I got the heat and the cold in the same visit. So maybe what I could do today is I could set up a calendar. You know what I mean? Like, just get organized and write everything down that I need to do. Maybe that's what we need to do today. I'm pretty far away from this gas pump. All right, let's do some more maneuvering around. Like I said, while I'm talking on the phone and I'm videoing, it's a good time for me to take a driver's test. All right, I'll be back with y'all in a second. Y'all see that can? The gas can? If you haven't looked at gas cans lately, if you're not a person that they have become, they're like safes. You can't get in them, you can't get the gas out. There's a certain way you gotta hold it and squeeze it and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, you'd have to be an engineer to figure out how to pour gas out of your gas can. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that is an example of the government. They come up with these regulations for these items like that, and they become if the government touches anything, I mean, just touches it, sniffs it, it automatically becomes more expensive, more complicated, more everything. I mean, it's just crazy. That makes me mad, when they take something like that. And I'm sure there's some kind of environmental reason why they have to have. You know what I do though? I've figured it out. What I do is, because you cannot buy a gas can anymore with just a regular spout where the liquid just pours out. That's impossible to attain. If you ever see one at a yard sale or whatever, just buy it, get it, because those things are crazy. But anyway, there's nothing good about them. And so what I do is I bought a funnel, and I just unscrew that thing and just pour it straight out of the can into the funnel. I mean, I don't know why they make me do stuff like that, but they do. I don't know. Maybe somebody can explain to me why you can't just get a gas can anymore that just has a spout and you pour the gas in. I mean, they used to have, I guess they had little caps that you could put on so the gas wouldn't spill out. I understand that. The first time I got one, this was years ago, but the first time I got one of those nozzles, I tore it to pieces. I was taking a knife and stabbing it and tearing the insides out of it and everything so I could pour. And it's something that's fairly simple, like you just squeeze it some kind of way, But anyway, that's not anything to be upset about. It's just not. But just every time I get gas, every time I pick that can up and I look at that nozzle, it just takes me to another place. And so, I just put that on my calendar and write it down so that I can remember it. I go, or maybe I keep a journal, and I go in at night and got upset today when I used the gas can, just to, so I can remember it. Sorry Tammy wasn't with me. I fully intended for her to go and then stand there as the doctor looked at me and her point things out on my body. But apparently the doctor knew how to do that on his own. He looked me over. So thanks for watching, guys.